Hello. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom SP3, back once again with the 3 count with SP3. For our first count, we're going to talk about the WWE Hall of Fame induction announcements. First, one of the greatest stables of all time. The New World Order, the NWO, will be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Hollywood Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and Sean Waltman, 6-Pac, will all be inducted into the Hall of Fame. X-Pac becomes a 2-time Hall of Famer. Who would have thunk that after X-Pac Heat in 2001? Back-to-back years. First time ever anyone did it back-to-back years. We have other 2-time Hall of Famers in the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels, in the Nature Boy Ric Flair, and Booker T. And now we have 3 more actually. Well, 4 more actually, because Scott Hall and Kevin Nash are both Hall of Famers. So everyone in the NWO is a 2-time Hall of Famer. Hollywood Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and now X-Pac. X-Pac is now in that luxurious list of 2-time Hall of Famers. X-Pac. And also, they made an announcement that the former World Heavyweight Champion, former WWE Champion, and the Beast, the original Beast, he walks alone, none other than the Animal Batista. Drax, for all my Marvel fans. Batista will also be inducted into the Hall of Fame. It was last year at WrestleMania 35. Batista had his final WWE match against Triple H. He retired shortly thereafter, WrestleMania 35, and now he is inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Batista has been in a lot of news articles recently due to his Twitter romance with the lovely Dana Brooke. This man's 51 years old and bagging 30-year-old blondes on Twitter. Batista winning. He winning, y'all. And he's invisible. If he stands still, you can't see him. He's like John Cena. Remember that, Dana. But congratulations to both the NWO and Batista for being the first 2 inductees for the 2020 WWE Hall of Fame. For our second count, we talked about people going into the Hall of Fame, and we're going to be talking about people who got the boot out of the WWE. What? WWE's releasing people again? Oh my god. The world is spinning. Now that AEW was around, I thought WWE was not releasing any talent anymore. They had officially released 2 superstars that had publicly asked for their releases. The first being Sin Cara. Sin Cara a number of weeks ago, following the UK edition in November of Monday Night Raw after losing Monday Night Raw match to Drew McIntyre. He went on social media and publicly put out his release request that he wanted to leave the WWE. He felt marginalized and not used to his full potential. So WWE has officially released him this weekend. I'm happy for Sin Cara. He seemed very frustrated in that little soliloquy that he put out on Twitter. So I'm glad that he is able to get out of there and then find something new, find his worth, and prove to WWE that they did waste his talent. And the big one to me is Luke Harper. Luke Harper made his release request very public earlier this year. Luke had been basically sitting at home for a number of months before WWE decided to bring him back, involved in the Who Killed Roman Reigns storyline, teaming with Eric Rowan to verse Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan at WWE Hell in a Cell following his return to the WWE at WWE Night of Champions. Since that match at WWE Hell in a Cell, Luke Harper has had a total of, I believe, 1 match. He was at WWE Sweet Saudi Money 4, aka WWE Crown Jewel. He was a part of that big battle royal that they had. He got into it with Rowan at one point during that. That was quite interesting, but nothing came up of that. They didn't follow up with another Harper and Rowan tag team run. They put Rowan on Monday Night Raw, and Luke Harper has been missing ever since. Also talked about on one of our first editions of the 3 count that Luke Harper had already basically copywritten his former indie name of Brody Lee. So we've already had online a couple of people outside the WWE teasing where Luke Harper is going to go. Most notably, I would say Marty Scurll. He went on Instagram and posted a picture with him and Brody Lee and said Villain Enterprises. I think out of all the names that were on this WWE release, he is the one that a number of different promotions he would fit in very well. I could definitely see him playing more of a Bruiser Brody role in Japan and New Japan Pro Wrestling. I could definitely see him finding his own niche and being a monster in Impact Wrestling, or no, in Impact Wrestling they'll probably put him with OVE like they do every big man from the WWE. NWA, he could wind up there and he could really make an impact in NWA. I think he could be a potential world's heavyweight champion contender. I don't know about champion, but definitely a contender, and he can make very interesting feuds with Nick Aldis, James Storm, or Eli Drake. The main place everybody's been saying that they think he's gonna go is AEW, All Elite Wrestling, and I feel like he would definitely be a fit there. I could see him coming in with Marty, being a part of the Villain Enterprise. I could see him being a part of like the Butcher and the Blade. How many dark stables do AEW have? He could be a part of the Dark Order. He could be a part of the Nightmare Collective. Who knows? There's so many dark stables, and Brody Lee would definitely fit in with any number of them. So I'm very interested to see where Brody Lee's gonna go. And then finally, the final release for WWE over the weekend were the Ascension. Victor and Connor, they had been off TV for almost over a year now. They had been one of the worst NXT call-ups in the history of NXT call-ups. This was a team that were a dominant NXT Tag Team Champions for almost a year. I think it was close to 365 days exactly. They lost their tag team titles back at TakeOver Fatal 4-Way, one of the first ever takeovers. I think that was like the second one they ever had, and they lost there. They lost the tag team titles to Lucha Dragons. They came up into the main roster. Looked like they were going to get a monster push until JBL decided to compare them to the Legion of Doom and Demolition, which automatically made them worse than both of those teams, and ever since then, it's just been a shit show for them. They were beaten down and demolished by a number of old legends a number of years ago, and I think that was the last time that the Ascension was even slightly over. They were definitely a cool part of the Fashion Files back on SmackDown in 2017. They kind of played the straight men to the comedy that is Breeze and Breezango. So they definitely fit in there, and they made a nice addition to the whole Fashion Files type of thing, but that was the last time they were ever really used. Ever since then, it's just been downhill. Very happy for the Ascension to get out there and kind of find a new. They're another team that I could definitely see them in like an Impact Wrestling. I can even see them in a Major League Wrestling. MLW definitely needs more tag teams to go along with teams like the Von Erichs, the Hart Foundation, the Contra Unit, and definitely the Ascension would definitely fit in pretty well there. They need a bruiser tag team, and the Ascension fits that very well. But we want to find out what you guys think. Where you think Sin Cara, Brody Lee, and the Ascension are going to wind up next. Post your comments down below. And then finally, our third count is no longer WWE. We're going to be talking about my pick. I'm giving you one of my predictions. One of my predictions for 2019 best promotion in professional wrestling, in my opinion, was not All Elite Wrestling, was not NXT, was not WWE, was not Impact Wrestling. It was the one and only New Japan Pro Wrestling. And New Japan Pro Wrestling, their biggest show of the year is Wrestle Kingdom. Wrestle Kingdom takes place in the Tokyo Dome every January 4th over the last decade. And this year, because the Olympics is in Japan in 2020 in the summer, they are starting off the year of New Japan Pro Wrestling huge with two big nights in the Tokyo Dome, 2 nights of the Wrestle Kingdom on January 4th and January 5th. If you know Wrestle Kingdom, if you've seen it over the last couple of years, you know this is one of the best cards of the entire year. This is one of the best major shows. Wrestle Kingdom 10 was one of the greatest shows I've ever seen in my life, which had the main event of Tanahashi versus Okada, with Okada finally beating Tanahashi in Wrestle Kingdom, at Wrestle Kingdom inside the Tokyo Dome for the first time, and him solidifying himself as the ace of New Japan. That was a show that also featured AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. It was just two and a half years ago that Kenny Omega became a mega star by having the 6-star classic against Okada at Wrestle Kingdom 11, 2 years ago now, where it was Omega versus Jericho. Alpha versus Omega, the match that changed the wrestling landscape and put so many new eyes on New Japan. This year, almost 1 year ago at Wrestle Kingdom on January 4th, where Tanahashi returned to prominence as the ace of New Japan for one last time in his era, he defeated Kenny Omega to regain the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. So over the last couple of years especially, Wrestle Kingdom has been huge, but it gets even bigger this year with 2 nights at the Tokyo Dome. So on January 4th, what a card it is breaking down to be. In one of his last matches in New Japan Pro Wrestling, it will be Jushin Thunder Liger, who promises to retire following Wrestle Kingdom. It's going to be a whole Legends match. He's going to be teaming with Tatsuya Fujinami and the Great Suzuki and Tiger Mask to verse Naoki Sano, Shinjiro Otani, Tatsumo Takahawa, and Ryusuke Taguchi. Taguchi, the ass master of New Japan Pro Wrestling, involved in that. Big legends. I think these are all the great legends of the last 10 to 15 to 20 years in New Japan's junior division, all in one match to celebrate Jushin Thunder Liger's end of his career. We also got a big 8-man tag where LIJ, Sanada, Evil, Shingo Takagi, and Bushi will versus Suzuki Gun foursome of Zack Sabre Jr., Minoru Suzuki, Taishi, and El Desperado. Also, we got another 8-man tag. It's going to be Hiroki Goto, Tomohiro Ishii, Toru Yano, and Yoshihashi of Chaos versus the Bullet Club, Kenta, Bad Luck Fale, Yujiro Takahashi, and Chase Owens. This is the first of 5 title matches on night 1 of Wrestle Kingdom. For the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Championships, it's going to be David Finlay and Juice Robinson, the winners of the World Tag League, going up against Tama Tonga and Tangaloa, the Gorillas of Destiny. By far, New Japan's best tag team of 2019 versus the winner of the World Tag League tournament. We're going to have Lance Archer going one-on-one with Jon Moxley, and this match will be a Texas death match for the IWGP US Championship. This follows Jon Moxley, who had to vacate the title back at King of Pro Wrestling due to not showing up to the event due to the Tatsumi that was out in Japan. Lance Archer beat Juice Robinson for the title, and now Lance must defend against the former champion. This is the match I'm looking forward to the most. In my eyes, the 2019 Most Outstanding Wrestler and the 2019 Wrestler of the Year. Will Ospreay will defend the IWGP Heavyweight Championship against one of his career rivals, the returning Hiromu Takahashi. Hiromu Takahashi's big singles match return following his neck surgery. The winners of the next 2 matches will first in the first ever double title match on January 5th for both the IWGP Heavyweight Championship and Intercontinental Championship. It's going to be Jay White, the Switchblade, going one-on-one with former IWGP Intercontinental Champion Tetsuya Naito. And in the main event of January 4th is going to be Kazuchika Okada, the ace and the man in New Japan Pro Wrestling versus the winner of the G1 Climax 29, Kota Ibushi. If you saw Ibushi and Okada in the G1, get ready. This is going to be a classic. 5-star minimum. January 5th, the matches just keep on coming and they're just as big. We're going to have the final match in the career of Jushin Thunder Liger as he teams with one of his career rivals, Naoki Sano, to verse the next generation of the junior division in Hiromu Takahashi and his career rival, Dragon Lee, now known as Ryu Lee. And on a side note, another count for you to add on and some news to jump on. Ryu Lee, the artist formerly known as Dragon Lee, has officially assigned a 1-year deal with New Japan Pro Wrestling. For the IWGP Junior Tag Team Championships, is going to be the 3-time winners, 3 years straight, the Super Junior Tag League winners of Sho and Yo of Roppongi 3K going up against the Bullet Club tandem of El Phantasmo, the Rev Pro Cruiserweight Champion, and Taiji Ishimori for the IWGP Junior Tag Team titles. We're going to have Juice Robinson, who's going to verse the winner of Archer versus Moxley from night 1 of Wrestle Kingdom. He's going to get his shot at the IWGP US title against one of those two, the winner of the match. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Sanada for the British Openweight Championship. Like I talked about previously, the 8-man tag on the first night previews this match. Another match that is previewed an 8-man tag is Kenta going one-on-one with Hiroki Goto for the Never Openweight Championship. Hiroki Goto is defending the honor and the respect of Shibata. Katsuyori Shibata is the man that brought Kenta into New Japan earlier this year before the G1 Climax, and he's also the man that Kenta turned his back on when he joined the Bullet Club on the G1 Climax 29 finals. So Goto is trying to get revenge for Kenta and regain the Never Openweight Championship, which he won in a classic, I think 2 years ago, against Suzuki in a hair versus hair match. This one, I think, is going to be one of the best matches on January 5th. It's going to be the losers of the 2 matches on January 4th. So whoever does not win the Intercontinental title match on January 4th will verse the loser of the Heavyweight Championship from January 4th. So we could see Kota Ibushi versus either Jay White or Tetsuya Naito, or we're going to see Okada versus Tetsuya Naito or Jay White. This one is going to be a very good one. It's going to be a generational class. One time, first time, once in a lifetime. Reminds me of some match. I forget who it was, but I'm pretty sure it was twice in a lifetime. But this one will be once in a lifetime. It's going to be the La Champions of AEW, Chris Jericho, going one-on-one with the ace of New Japan himself, Hiroshi Tanahashi. Tanahashi versus Jericho, first time ever at Wrestle Kingdom. And in the main event on January 5th, it will be the IWGP Heavyweight Champion going one-on-one with the IWGP Intercontinental Champion. What a card. 2 nights of Wrestle Kingdom in the Tokyo Dome. Whew. Lot to unload and a lot for you to enjoy. So I hope you guys are going to be up very early on January 4th and 5th to enjoy every single match inside the Tokyo Dome for Wrestle Kingdom. So that is all for the 3 count with SP3 for Monday, December 9th, 2019. A little bit longer for this 3 count with SP3 because we had to get through all those matches, talking about the Hall of Fame inductees and the releases. Let us know what you think about the WWE Hall of Fame inductees, Batista and the NWO. Who you think should be the person to induct these to? I've heard a couple of people say Sting should induct the NWO, Triple H should induct Batista. So what do you guys think? And I want to hear your thoughts for the huge, tremendous 2 nights of Wrestle Kingdom and these cards. What matches are you looking forward to the most? What matches are you not looking forward to the most? And what matches do you think is going to be the absolute best coming out of the Tokyo Dome on January 4th and 5th? So post your comments down below. If you enjoyed this video and all the news that we unloaded on you, push that like button. Of course, push that subscribe button to stay notified for all the great content right here on Tru Heel Heat. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom SP3, signing off for the 3 count with SP3. Until next time.